Welcome to another Sad Boys book review. My name is Dusty, and to kind of keep the Sanderson train alive here after only one stop with Terry Brooks, I am reviewing The Alloy of Law, Book 4 in the Mistborn series, Book 1 of Era 2, the Wax and Wayne series. This book takes place, I want to say it's like 350 years after the Hero of Ages, still set on Scadrial, the world of Mistborn. And I'll try my best not to say anything that could imply any spoilers for the Hero of Ages. It shouldn't be too hard, but all the same, just the fact that this book exists might carry some possible spoilers for the Hero of Ages in and of itself. I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, book 1 of the second Mistborn era. Remarkably short book, very, very short by Sanderson standards. My copy, I had the hardcover US copy, it was 325 pages. Very, very easy read, very quick read. I think I did it in like 4 sittings. It was a page turner, man. It was cool. It was very cool. I loved returning to this world, albeit very, very different. It's very kind of Victorian steampunk. There's guns, there's trains, there's skyscrapers in progress, there's electricity, there's lanterns, but that's fairly new technology. Wax, the main character, is very kind of like not used to stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, very Victorian, very steampunk, very, very cool. If I remember correctly, this story started out as a short story or a novella that eventually built into a novel that eventually built into a 4-book series. Because as Sanderson might admit to himself or to anyone, he tends to write very lengthy things and is very hard at writing very short things. That being said, like I said, this book is very short and it does feel like it. It does. You can definitely tell that this started out as like a novella that just kind of grew, because it's very, very fast paced. I think a large majority of this book takes place over the span of like a day and a half. It's very, very, very quick, but it's like I said, it's very cool. I don't know how else to explain it. It's very cool. It's very exciting. It's very fun. Wax is a very cool new protagonist. I really like his character. Wayne, his cohort, his partner in crime or crime fighting, I guess, because they are crime fighters. Is just, he's a funny character. He's hilarious. I laughed at him so much. He's very out there. He's very weird. He's very eccentric, and he's my favorite character in this book. I love Wayne. He is so damn funny and so cool and so interesting. Yeah, it very much, if this isn't obvious, has a bit of a Holmes and Watson kind of feel to it, but it's a very fun take on it. I don't know, I really enjoy it. The female character in this book, the female lead, Marassi, she was very, very well done. She was very competent and capable. She had a very unexpected relevance to the story. Well, not relevance to the story, but like the way that she was relevant in ways that I didn't expect. If I had to say, like, the weakest part of this book might have been the villain. He wasn't bad by any means, but he also wasn't very interesting. You know, he's no Lord Ruler. He's no other villains in Stormlight or Mistborn or Elantra, whatever. Like, he might be my least favorite villain in a Sanderson book I've read, but that's not necessarily an indictment. It's just kind of a statement. It's just kind of what it is. There has to be a worst. It's just by default, and I think that the villain in The Alloy of Law might be that. He was fine. I mean, I think he was a good foil to Wax. His powers were insane. This series introduces a new concept in this world called Twinborns. So in Mistborn, you know, you had your Mistings, which were people that had one allomantic power. And then you had the Mistborns, which were people who had all of the allomantic powers. You had the Terracemen, who had Farukami. You had the Inquisitors, who had Hemalurgy. Just all of these really cool powers and systems. And now you have the Twinborns, and they have one allomantic power and one Farukamic power, and it's just so cool. Wax is a Twinborn. But Wax and Wayne are both Twinborns, and Wax's power combination is if you'd have told it to me, I'd have been like, how are you going to make this interesting? Well, Sanderson found a way. It's so the way that he combines his powers is very cool. Wayne's powers are very cool. The villain, his twin-born powers are insane. I don't know how you are supposed to handle someone like that, but they find a way. And just the way that he's able to keep expanding on this magic system, that after the Mistborn trilogy, the first trilogy, you're like, how can you keep going with this? How can you make this interesting and new and fresh? The way that he did with Twinborns was just so impressive, and the way that he was able to have these characters have these dual powers and have them be synergistic with each other was just, it was so impressive. It continues to affirm to me that Allomancy, and to a lesser extent, but still very much so, Feruchemy, is the coolest magic system that he has made in all of his books. I mean, Stormlight might come in and shock me with their magic system, with the weaving of the Stormlight. But man, Mistborn's got such a cool magic system, and the way that he was able to incorporate magic in a world that has guns, and have it still feel like the guns have their weight and the magic has their weight, and how they can be synergistic as well, was just very, very cool. I keep using the word cool, but that's just what this book was. It was very cool. I don't know where I would place it in my Sanderson hierarchy. Maybe the bottom, maybe, like, because once again there has to be a bottom by default. Maybe I would put it above Warbreaker. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I keep saying maybe, but really that's just where I'm at. It's just maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But it's so worth it. It's so great to come back to this world, and I'm really glad that I put some distance between Era 1 and Era 2, because I feel like if I would have gone straight from the Hero of Ages into the Alloy of Law, I don't think I would have appreciated the Alloy of Law for what it was as much, because objectively speaking, it is a major step down from the Hero of Ages, but it's not trying to be a step up from it. It's just trying to be the next thing, another thing, just more of this. And it's so good for that. It doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't try to take itself seriously. It's an action adventure serial. You know, it almost feels like kind of like Indiana Jones or something like that, where it's like you're here for the adventure, for the fun, for the romp of it, and you're just watching these characters live and exist in this world, in this ridiculous scenario, and you're just like, this is great. This is just a fun book. I don't feel like, you know, the world is at stake like it is in, like, you know, the Era 1, or there are these massive battles and wars and factions like there are in Stormlight. I'm just watching two dudes go on an adventure, try and fight crime, and take down some villainous dude, and I'm all for it. It's the perfect, just kind of fun action romp through magical worlds. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. I highly recommend it, but you got to read Era 1 first. You got to read the original Mistborn trilogy first, otherwise, you know, some things aren't going to make as much sense. You're going to be missing some context. But if you liked Era 1, you'll probably like Era 2. Like, I think you'll like the Alloy of Law, but you got to approach it differently, because it's a different series in the same overarching world. Like, it's all under the Mistborn umbrella, but you gotta know that this is a different series to the first one, and approach it with that amount of respect, because if you come in expecting a follow-up to the Hero of Ages, or something that's to a similar tone to the first trilogy, you're gonna be disappointed, because that's not what this is. It's not what it's trying to be. It's trying to be its own thing while still being set in that world with these you know, the legacy of these characters from the first one, with this magic system and building its own thing. And I respect Sanderson for doing that so much, because he took the pressure of following Mistborn up, the Hero of Ages, off by doing that, and the story excels for it. And so with that in mind, I'm giving the Alloy of Law an 8 out of 10. Check it out if you've read the Mistborn trilogy and you loved that. But once again, go in it with the appropriate expectations, because this is not the same series. It's the same umbrella series, but tonally it's completely different. And yeah, check it out. It's good. Thank you. That'll do it for this review. Thank you everyone for listening, and I'll catch you next time.